Here, Whānau, we've got CARLENE Louise here outside Auckland Hospital as we speak, just to give us a bit of an update on what's going on at the moment. Now, CARLENE, from what I've seen from your live footage, you've been there since last night, is that right?
We answered the call out yesterday to be here from 12 o'clock. So we've been here since then.
Yep, and you've been awake the whole time?
I got about 22 minutes sleep. That's just enough for us freedom fighters. That's how we roll when the work needs to be done. You know, we kind of find the strength from somewhere else to get us through.
That's right.
So, yeah.
So could you take me from the beginning, CARLENE? Why did you answer the call in the first place? Why are you there?
I think the mahi that we've done for our tamariki for the last 2.5 years, a lot of our whānau out there have come to trust that I'm in this fight for the right reason, and that I do have a voice that people listen to and shoulders that they can lean on. And there were so many people that reached out when this story first became public. It was hard not to. And I have to be honest, I did try, because we've been doing so much mahi with our sanctuaries. But the call was that great. Look, I'm bound by duty and purpose to be here. So it took me a little bit, but we came. And we've been here since the very first court case, which was last Tuesday. And we'll be here for however long it takes.
Awesome. So could you just run me through what's happened since you arrived? Oh, sorry, Whānau. It looks like we've lost CARLENE. I'll just see if I can get her back in. One moment. We love our technical difficulties, don't we, Whānau? Got your back, baby.
Welcome to censorship, Whānau. This is how we tell we're over the target.
Play. Hey, so could you just run me through what's happened since you arrived last night? What time did you get there, and what sort of reception were you met with?
So we pretty much hung around the hospital for about 1.5 hours yesterday because of the call that was put out. Once we recognised that no one showed up, people were showing up, but I think we kept missing each other. And so we decided that we'd set up in the domain and create a space for anyone that came through to have a picnic, to have a good old-fashioned, pure-blooded Kiwi picnic. And we ended up having a vigil last night of our own. We were going to do a hikoi around the hospital, but some of our whānau that turned up, one of our sisters is on crutches, so we didn't want to put her through that. So we just held space in the domain. And then about 11 o'clock, because we've got people on the inside, I was alerted to Will first being removed. And everyone was reaching out saying, you need to get to the hospital, you need to get into the ward and all of this. But for me, I wanted to hold space until the call was made from the inside to hold space in the hospital or outside at the main entrance. And that call didn't come from inside. They asked us just to stay where we were, and if the call was made, they knew we were there. And then about 7 o'clock this morning, we've been standing at the entrance where we had the vigil last Friday, I think it was. We had a candlelight vigil for baby Will. And since then, we've just been holding space until the whānau showed up. We started with 9 of us, I think, and we're up to about 30. And we know it's a weekday, it's wet, it's cold. So only the strong are going to turn out for this. So I'm hoping that, man, we need as many people as possible. That's all I can
Now, you mentioned 11 o'clock last night. They took baby Will. Is that what you said? Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
11 o'clock last night, he was removed from his mum. They were saying that they were prepping him for this morning's operation. At some point throughout the morning, he was returned because he is breastfeeding. Him and his twin brother are both breastfeeding.
Oh, you guys, we've lost CARLENE again. It sounds like the censorship is pretty real up where she is. Let's go for third time lucky and get her in here again. One moment. Oh, wow. We're
All right,
getting
I'll
some
get as
real sense
much
from
out
her.
as I can. So he was returned to his mum at some point early hours this morning. But what they've been doing is using war tactics like they did on us in Wellington. They've kept her up all night. They have completely intimidated her to try and break down her mentality, her emotional side and her spiritual side. But I think these people, after being with this family for so long, you would think that they would get to know this family and recognize that the resilience and the very, very deep faith that they have in their belief in a higher power has gotten them through this. And it's going to take a lot to break this family. So what we do know is that baby Will was taken into surgery at about 8:30 this morning. His dad Cole has been standing with us for most of the morning. Him and Sam have both gone off to do interviews. We know that InfoWars is going to be streaming and a couple of other platforms. Massive international platforms have come on board. At some point I'm supposed to be doing another interview with them. So for now, all we can really do, this is all out of our hands, whānau, right now. And all we can do is keep sharing the message. The other thing that I do want to let everyone know is that we had one of our mainstream brothers on the inside, one of the good guys, who filmed everything that took place last night. He has 2 hours of footage of what really took place inside that hospital room and the war tactics being waged against this mother. They have released a 5-minute preview, and at some point they will be releasing all 2 hours. And we know that once the police recognise that there was a camera filming, they absolutely shit bricks. Absolutely shit bricks. Because they know they've been caught out in the war tactics that they have waged against this family. Right now, we're just holding space. We are going to be here for the duration of the day until Will gets through recovery. We know that he will at some point be given back to Sam because he is breastfeeding. That's what we hope is they're going to stick to. Other than that, this is in God's hands.
Absolutely. Now, I watched a few minutes of your live this morning and it mentioned something about Cole being trespassed. Are you able to elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, no, he corrected that they weren't trespassed, they were removed. Him and another family.
Right, it looks like we've lost CARLENE for the third time, but I think we got the gist of what's happening there, so we might just leave it there. I'm sure CARLENE will update in the comments section if she has anything else to add, but that looks like the situation there at the Auckland Hospital at the moment. You've seen with your own eyes, there's about 40 people gathered there from what CARLENE's telling us, with more expected to come. They do plan on being there for the duration of the day, so if you're in the area, please pop on down and show your support. Now, keep an eye on infowars.com for a live stream with Sam and Cole regarding baby Will, and also keep an eye on Counterspin Media, who've been providing some really good coverage of what's going on. Liz Gunn and Sue Gray have both been putting little snippets on their pages on Facebook as well, so updates, keep an eye on those. Now, Whānau, I'm also hearing wind of a gathering at Parliament happening on the 13th next week. Now, I haven't looked into details of this, but I am seeing it all over a lot of pages associated with the Freedom Movement of New Zealand, and it's encouraging people to be there in Wellington at Parliament for the next sitting, 13th, 14th, 15th, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to attend. Kia ora whānau, good to see you all. Ka kite. Kia ora whānau, thank you for watching. To support Zeb Jackson Live, please go to patreon.com and hit that subscribe button. Kia pai tō rā.